Hello, my name is Judy. Welcome to the Liberated Multitasker. Today we're going to make a casserole that we call one meal dish. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get some water on to boil. And we'll need that for our 16 ounces of macaroni. Now I'm going to brown 1 pound of ground meat. This recipe you can use 1 to 1.5 pounds of ground meat. I'm just going to use 1 pound. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. I got this recipe from my mother-in-law shortly after me and my husband were married. She gave me a list of recipes that were some of his favorite at that time. And this was on that list. I liked it because it was a casserole. I could mix it all together, put it in the oven, and when it was done, our dinner was ready. I consider this a budget meal recipe, and so based on my calculations, you can prepare this at about $1.50 per serving. And the ingredients you'll need is 1 to 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I'm using just 1 pound. 16 ounces of macaroni noodles, 1/4 cup of ketchup, 1/4 cup of worcheshire sauce, English peas, and either diced or stewed tomatoes. Oh, and cheese. About 1 cup of cheese, shredded cheese. So I'll bring you back when our ground meat is cooked before we add our next ingredients. So our meat is good and brown. And so next we're going to add a can of diced tomatoes, our ketchup, and our Worcestershire sauce. Now you can get a can of Great Value stewed tomatoes for about 88 cents a can. I'm using what I already had. Now that I've added the ketchup, the Worcestershire, and the tomatoes, this needs to simmer for about 20 minutes. And I'm still waiting for my water to come up to boil for my pasta noodles. Oh, and these. I got this at Dollar Tree for $1.25. I love these little spatulas. They come in handy. My water has come up to boil, so now I'm going to add my macaroni noodles. I will have this recipe listed below in the description notes. You want to go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. My meat mixture is good and hot. I'm going to go ahead and pour it into the casserole dish. Now we're going to add a can of sweet peas. I've already drained them, and you just sprinkle them on top. The macaroni noodles are done. I'm I'm going to go ahead and drain them, and I'll bring you back in just a second. Now for the last little touch, we're going to add cheese, just enough to cover the top. I'm guessing that's going to be about a cup. Now I have two favorite kinds of cheese, mild cheddar and pepper jack. So I'm going to put a little of both. And then we're almost done. We just bake it on 350 until the cheese is good and melted. And then your dinner will be ready. Just a little bit more. I want to make sure we got some around the edges. And then I'm going to add a little pepper jack too. Now, because we're doing low carb in this house, I will make this a convenience meal. Everything in here should freeze fine. I'll freeze it in serving sizes for us to use later. Also, if you're trying to prep for a lot of convenience meals, once again, this will be easy to double. But when I say serving sizes for these casseroles, I'm typically talking about a 1 cup serving. So that looks about right. So now we're going to put it in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes, basically until your cheese is melted. So it's been about 15 minutes. And here's our 1 meal dish casserole. So now this is ready to eat. Serve it now for your family, or freeze all of it for convenience meals later. Whatever meets your needs. So let's scoop some up in a bowl and give it a little taste test. That cheese is melted down into the macaroni. It looks tasty. Let's give it a try. Really good. So give it a try. Let me know what you think, if it's a recipe that you enjoy or not. Like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon.